So I've done a lot of talking about the Summit 600 carburetor, and I've never really done a video on them, but I'm always recommending them to people. I have one on my sleeper truck out there, and I just put one on my Galaxy just for fun because I just built a motor and I was gonna put it on to sell with that motor. But anyway, we'll take a look at it here under the hood of the old Galaxy. Nice and hot in there. But anyway, they run really well. I just put it on here today straight out of the box, didn't make any changes, and I got kind of a lopey cam, so I'm going to start it up in a bit. But I mean, it just goes to show how good these are, and what I really like about them, and what a lot of carb manufacturers don't really do these days, is make annular boosters. Now what an annular booster is, well, we'll get this off here so we can get a straight look. I really like Summit stuff. They've really gotten really good. But okay, if you see these big circular things here, these are the boosters, and you got them on the primary side here. But annular boosters are really good because they have multiple holes around the booster here, really small, so it really helps that when fuel's drawn out through the manifold vacuum, when it's pulled through these boosters through these 8 orifices, or however many orifices there might be, 6 to 12, but anyway, when it's pulled through there, it atomizes very well. And for these carburetors, or these engines like what I got with a high lift cam that have that reversion where the intake and exhaust lobe on the cam are open at the same time for a little bit, it's really helpful to run really nice and clean. But really, that's the main advantage to these. They come with an electric choke, which I don't really need a choke ever, so I just have it wired open. But you know, you can hook that up just to a 12 volt source. But what's also nice is if you go to change your jets, the top of this carburetor comes off, and you can change your jets without dumping fuel all over the intake or having to remove the carburetor, so you don't dump fuel all over the intake like with Holley's, which this is actually a Holley carburetor, but Holley makes them for Summit, I'm pretty sure. But they're really nice, they run really well, and obviously it came set up really good from the factory because I just dropped it in here and fired it up and it ran really well. I'm gonna change the jets naturally because I can't leave nothing alone. But the last thing that they come with is they come with a carb gasket. It's almost like a spacer. Now I have my phenolic spacer on here, so I like those. They work really well, and I run 1 inchers on a low rise manifold, so it essentially makes it a high rise manifold, and it's and I have the 4-hole spacer, so it pulls from every part through the carburetor. But anyway, they come with a spacer, so that really helps to prevent heat soak in the carburetor from the intake manifold, and that's really important. So they come with that gasket, so that's superb. And they have a quick change, not a quick change spring deal, but you can change your secondary springs pretty easily. So all in all, it's a pretty good carburetor. I'll go ahead and fire it up and we'll take a listen to it. It fires, I'll just bump the key and it should fire right up. So I'll make sure our 5-speed transmission's in neutral. Just like that, it fires right up. So it runs really well, fires right up, it shuts right down. The fuel metering is very good. So and they have really good floats on them too that are I think plastic or some sort of a plastic material, so that's really nice because it can withstand a lot higher pressure. Like the Holleys, they use a brass primary float bowl, or float, excuse me, and that float is heavy enough that anything really over 5.5 psi can really knock it open. And then when you shut the carburetor down, the fuel will expand in your fuel line here and be enough. It'll build up pressure and it'll be enough to be dumping your fuel over into your intake. And that's why if you ever get in your car after you've driven it and it's hard to start, that's your problem. So these carburetors are really good about that, and the glass sight plugs are really good. But really the really nice thing here is just the straight adjustability. Everything's really, really adjustable, and those boosters. Those boosters are really, really nice. Annular boosters. If you don't have annular boosters, you're just messing around. Annular boosters are just the best boosters for throttle response and performance. They just really atomize the fuel in a far superior way to any other booster style. And these carburetors are really affordable. They cost about $250 to $270 depending on how much Summit chooses to have them priced on that month, but they're very affordable and they work very well. So anyway, that's kind of my opinion of them. They're pretty darn nice. So if you got a budget project, or even not a budget project, they're definitely something to look into. So anyway, there you have it.